moving right along. Today's Tanya. And that's not today's Tanya again. We're 2 days behind, but we are continuing. Okay, so the Tanya is the end of chapter 4. So we discussed very interesting chapter. The first chapter, part of chapter 4, spoke about how it's not possible for us to fathom the energy from Hashem that it takes to make something from nothing. And we can't also understand the energy it takes to make, though it's created something from nothing, the something can't realize and recognize that he is from where he's from. He doesn't recognize his source. So although Hashem is making him and he's alive, as we explained in the last few chapters of Tanya, from the words of Hashem's mouth that he continues to create him every single moment, he doesn't even see what makes him and what brings him into being. So what are the words in Kabbalah and Chassidus used to describe these two energies, the energy of creating something from nothing and the tremendous energy that can hide and that you don't see who you are? It's called Orot v'Kelim, lights and vessels. And that's where we're going to finish this idea in today's time. And behold, Chinas HaTzimtzum, this force of contraction, of hiding, the Hester Achayus, and the hiding of energy, the level of condensation and a hiding of energy, Nikr B'Shem Kelim, the term that we want to use in Chassidus and Kabbalah is called Kelim. Kelim, vessels. Right? I'm holding a Keli right now. I'm holding a cup. Achayus Atzmai Nikr B'Shem Ar, and the energy that's in the vessel is called light. So I guess it's like a light bulb. You know, if you have a colorful light bulb, the light is pure, but the color of the light bulb can make that light shine as if it is a certain color. So if you have a blue light bulb, the blue light bulb will make the pure light look like the light is blue, but the light itself is really pure. So the relationship between energy and their vessels, the light and their vessels, is that the energy is really the energy what's making everything happen, but the vessels are the one that are giving it the character and limiting it to the energy that's in them. Just like, what's the job of a vessel? It protects, it covers, it shapes whatever is inside him, it hides. So I can hold a cup. I do this to my kids sometimes. I want some soda, but I don't want to give my kids. So I'll put Coke in my coffee cup, and my kids think I'm drinking coffee. They don't know that I really have horrible Coke that could ruin your teeth inside there. So a cup's job is to hold and also to cover. You don't know what's inside it. So too, that's why we're calling it the contraction. Mechase. What does contraction do? It hides. Umaster or the light, v'chayus, and the energy, the life, hashefeya, that flows, it's hiding it. So the job of the vessels is to hide what's inside there. It's like a purse, like a wallet. You know what I mean? Like a safe, kind of. I guess a vessel is like a safe. So in our example, Hashem created the world with 10 sayings. What is the safe? What is the vessels that are covering up the security switch, the power that's covering and hiding the energy that's in there? The vessels, in our analogy of where Hashem creates the world with 10 sayings, are the letters. The letters, right? The 22 letters. So 22 letters are a definition. Again, like light is pure. The vessel is shaping the light, is covering the infinite energy and turning it into substance, turning it into details, to formations. So the vessels are the letters. That, in our analogy of Hashem creating the world, the fact that there is all these different 22 letters and so on, those are the vessels. And then you can have more vessels or different shaped vessels. Those are all the different letters of the alphabet. Shesharshon, that the original source of the energy, vessel energy that's limiting everything, hey oisios matzapach, are the 5, as we keep on explaining, the 5 different ways your mouth lets out the ear. Is it a throat letter? Is it a lip letter? Is it a tooth letter? Is it a tongue letter? Which they call in Hebrew man tzapach. Mem, I guess, is made maybe by your lips. Mem, nun, sadik is like a tooth letter, maybe pei, and chaf, I think, is maybe a throat letter. So the different letters, whatever they are, I don't know exactly which one comes from where, but there are 5 main huge vessels that are going to channel the energy first into 5 letters, and then they're going to be in detail work out into 22 different letters. Hey, gvuras and mechalkes, those are called the, what did we call this? Remember, chesed, we call the energy that makes infinite, it's God's greatness. But then we also said God's strength and severity is that he's able to limit and hide himself, that you can't see who it is. So the gvura, God's strength, severity, are the original, are 5. There's 5 elements to that, 5 parts to the limitation of that energy. It says that originally, just like in your mouth, you could have the air pushed out from 5 different ways in your mouth. But then after that, it could turn, using all the parts of your mouth, to 22 different letters. The same thing is above, that there's 5 main limitations, and then it turns into 20 different letters. Butzina the Kardonisa. It's called in Kabbalah Butzina the Kardonisa. It's an Aramaic word which means light from darkness. That the it basically is trying to say that where is the original source of limitation? It's higher than the physical world. So, for example, we keep on learning about what's the element of the detailed created physical world. That is Atzilus, Bria, Yitzira, Asiya, the 4 worlds, that Hashem starts limiting the infinite energy. The energy, the original limiting energy to limit the infinite light is higher, is beyond those 4 worlds. Shigvura ilah da'atik yomin. It comes from a Kabbalistic place that's called Atik Yomin, which is a level basically that's higher than where the world starts to be formed in detail and take on the material structure of it. So, and the kindness and giving and greatness of Hashem, like we learned yesterday, to create many detailed things, to infinite amount of things, and create something from nothing, comes from chesed over there. So both the giving and the limiting comes from a level that's higher than the physical creation of the world. Is known to those who know the hidden secrets of Torah. But why are we telling you this? What's the point? I'm saying, what's the benefit of knowing this? Because 2 things. Number 1, it's beyond our comprehension. In other words, this whole originating system that creates from something to nothing and limits from something, limits that you can't see that it's created from nothing, something is from nothing. That is all beyond the limitations of creation, which is why beyond our comprehension. But another important point that we'll make is that because it's happening within Hashem and the infinite energy of Hashem, the creating it and the limiting it, what comes out of that interesting is that Hashem is not hiding himself from himself. In other words, the whole thing that even though Hashem is making us exist in every single moment, we still can't see it. It's only us who can't see it, that where we come from. But from Hashem's perspective, being that he is hiding himself, it's like, I think we learned like a shell of a turtle is not hiding the turtle from itself because it's part of him, of who he is. So since God's limitation of himself is within himself, God's not hiding himself from himself. The whole hiding is only to us, to the creations of Hashem. And that is the end of today's Tanya. Any questions or comments on today's Tanya? I mean, we basically summed up just the last 2 days of Tanya. There is the infinite energy of Hashem and the infinite energy of Hashem that's limiting itself. We can't get in touch, either one. In Kabbalah, we learned today, it's called the Kalim and the Oires, the vessels and the lights. And the light is pure. The vessels covers over, hides it, and shapes it how it wants it to look. The light bulb will color the light how it wants it to look. But but in our case, the light bulb will really change the light. In Hashem's case, it's only the people looking that see a difference. But regarding Hashem himself, really no change took place. And that is the end, my friend, of today's Tanya. Have a great day. With Hashem's help, we'll continue on Friday. We'll have to decide